Well, I've had a bit of a setback in that I've developed some shortness of breath, which is most likely attributed to a hypertensive lung that was never treated. And I knew I had it. And why they didn't treat it in the hospital, I don't know. So hopefully it'll get treated now, and I won't have to deal with that again. It is treatable, you know, with certain kinds of drugs. So I'm excited about that part of it, that finally something will be done, because it does affect my ability to walk and to do other things. So it's kind of a blessing in disguise. And although I'm short of breath and have to do oxygen, some of the time it's okay. I can deal with it, because I was on oxygen before for I don't know how many weeks. So this is nothing really. You know, I wear it when I go to bed. I wear it when I have to do some walking. So, but I don't. They gave me a portable machine, but I dropped it, so I don't know if it works. But we'll find out.
You'll find out pretty quick.
Yes.
Ginny, you talk about a blessing in disguise, and I wonder, is any of this, maybe it's too soon to tell, is any of this a blessing in disguise?
Definitely.
Really?
Definitely.
How so?
Well, you know, I've been thinking a lot about it, and particularly in terms of our traditional teachings, our 7 traditional teachings, and more, I think, more so about humility and being humble than the others. I mean, they all kind of fit together, but that's really brought home the message to me, because I was so helpless and was so vulnerable, and I had to depend on others. And when you have to depend on others, there's a humbling factor there. So I began to see people in a different light. Even though, you know, I'm, you know, the coordinator for Indigenous Ministries, I began to depend on people who may not have the skills I have, who may not have the knowledge I have, but they had what I needed at the time. And for me, that was truly humbling. So it kind of brought me back to the ground, you know, so to speak, and made me really respect what they did for me, you know, how they treated me, and just the job that they do. Because a lot of what they had to do is difficult. It's not something I could do every day. I mean, I've done it, you know, in caring for, like my mom when she was dying. And I did care for other people in the Alaska Native village that I worked in, you know, when they were coming towards the end of their life. But that whole experience helped me to see that in order to do that, it's really tied to love too. That you have to have a certain love about you in order to do it. So and love, of course, is another one of our traditional teachings. So and I'm still looking at it and still, you know, seeing where the other teachings come into play, and I think they all will eventually. Particularly, you know, courage. I don't know how many cards I received that talked about having courage. You know, the courage to heal, the courage to do the things that I needed to do to get well. They were, you know, it was kind of overwhelming. So that too is, you know, another one of the teachings that has come through strong and clear, and that's to have that kind of courage. Not easy. It's not easy, you know, particularly when you're feeling so bad, and when you can't do things, and you know, when all you can do is lay in bed. You know, where does the courage come from? Well, you know, it comes from prayer. It comes from knowing that people care about you, and that people are willing to lend you courage. Sometimes you have to give it back. Other times you don't have to give it back. And there were so many people like that, whether it was family or friends, that came to see me and, told me, don't give up, just do what you have to do. My sister in particular, she was always telling me, you do what they say. Don't fight with them, because she knows how I am. She knows I'm stubborn. She knows I like to do things my way. And she always tells me when I leave, do as you're told now. Don't fight with them. But sometimes, it's fun to fight, so makes life a little more interesting anyway. So, that's kind of where I am. I keep thinking about, where I'm going from here too. Where am I going? And that hasn't been revealed. So when it is revealed, it'll be really interesting. I mean, I know there are certain things that I still need to do in terms of working with Mark and Church House and Indigenous ministry. But I think there's something beyond that too, but I don't know what it is. But I think definitely God has some kind of plan. Otherwise, I don't think I would have been put through all of this. God's preparing me for something. I just have to figure out what it is, and through prayer and other discernment. And that, to me, is exciting, because I don't know. And then when I finally find out, what it is, it'll be so awesome that, I'll be able to do it. And I'll be equipped to do it, by spending time here and seeing people who are probably worse off than I am. But then I look at these little old ladies who can walk, and I can't, and it makes me real humble, to see that. But then I think, well, they probably didn't have to go through what I've had to go through. So good for them. I'm happy for them. And I'm not jealous of them. I'm not envious. I'm just happy for them. And I think that's, kind of key in anyone's healing. And that's to be happy with what you have. And not dwell so much on what you want, but to be happy in your present place with what you have, who you are, and the people you know, and the place you know. And if you can do that, I just think it's really important in your overall healing. And it gives you, the strength to go forth. I mean, I'm a lot stronger now than when I came here. Certainly much stronger than I was on July 19th. So I just, like my sister says, have to do what they say. Well, there was one time when I was really afraid. And that's because of what I heard as I was coming out of my dreamlike state, or whatever it was. Because I heard, other people who were in pain and suffering, and who were actually, vocalizing it and saying things like, I don't want to die, I'm going to die, don't let me die. And when you hear something like that, and when you're, when you're sick too and not well, you begin to have those kinds of thoughts. well, am I going to die too? Is that the plan? Am I going to die? And although I'm not afraid of dying, it does make you feel that you should be afraid. Because, and not so much because I won't be around, but because of the people I'll leave behind. Now I have a big family, and I certainly want to be able to see my nieces and nephews, grow up and to be good people. And I want to be a part of that. So things like that cause me fear, that I can't be there for them, that I can't be there for my brothers and my sister, and for other family members. And that's a real fear. And and I have lots of friends too, who I've helped through my years and who have helped me. And to not be there for them is fearsome too for me. I've always been a helper, taken care of things, so to speak. And I know that there's lots of people that depend on me to do that, whether it be family or friends. And so I think, well, if I do go, who's going to do that? Well, I don't know. But I do know that it means I haven't really done my job. Because, I've been told over and over again that when you leave, you should have passed on that medicine to someone else so that they can do what you have done. And I don't think I've done that. So, and that is fearsome too. Who do I give that to? Who do I equip to take my place, to carry my medicine that I've acquired throughout the years, and not from myself, but from other people. I mean, I've been fortunate to have strong people in my life who have helped me and who know about things and the whole aspect of healing, and who've been healers, and I've seen them heal, and I've learned from that. But now I can't keep it. I have to pass it on. And so it can't die with me. So hopefully, I'll figure out who that person is. Maybe it's more than one person, but it's something I need to do. And I'm not saying I have it all, because I don't, but I have something that I need to pass on. But to find the right person, I don't think it'll be that difficult. I just need to think more on it. I think I'm coming to the end, I hope. But the thing about healing is that it goes on and on and on. Because there are so many things, I mean, not just the physical part of it, but it's also, the psyche that needs to be healed. Things from the past that impact who I am today. Those kinds of things need healing as well. And to heal from that takes much more time than a physical healing, because we're talking about going way back, maybe 2, maybe 4 or 5 generations ago. And that intergenerational healing, it's not easy to do, and it takes a lot of other people to be involved to help you. And I think it's one of the big things that impacts our people today, everywhere, is that they have not been able to do that intergenerational healing. You know, when you think about the residential schools and how that's, how by one person going to residential school has impacted a whole family for generations. And until they begin to heal each generation, it's going to continue. That hurt and pain is going to continue. And as the Anglican Church, you know, we need to figure out how we can do that. How do we address that kind of healing? And I think people have ideas, and people are really committed to doing healing circles, and that's good, but it has to be consistent. You can't just go in and do a circle and say, okay, you're healed. It doesn't work like that. You know, you have to keep at it and keep at it and keep at it. And I think once we see people begin to heal, we'll see a much stronger presence of our Indigenous people. I mean, it gets kind of frustrating right now with some of our leaders who are still hurt. And they want to be good leaders, but there's something that always holds them back. And I think it's because they have not healed completely. So we need to figure out how to help them. And the thing is, some of them know it because they're saying, we need the healing, we need the healing. And I think, you know, within the next maybe year or two, we'll come up with some kind of plan to impact that healing. Hopefully, I'm hopeful that we will, and that will help people to become strong, effective leaders in our church. For all of the folks who have been praying for me, I really appreciate it, and keep those prayers coming. Not only for my healing, but for the healing of others in my situation. I know there's so much pain in this world. So I appreciate it. And just want people to know that I carry a lot of love for what you've done, for the prayers you offered, for the flowers, the cards, the fruit. I got so much fruit, it wasn't even funny. And all the other goodies that people have sent me. So I just want to say thank you.